And please take it on, whenever you're ready.
Thank you so much for taking time, for spending time with me today to talk about your personal leadership branding. At the conclusion of our time together, I hope you would have a stronger understanding of what personal leadership branding is and ideas regarding how you can continue building and evolving your own personal leadership brand, and perhaps even have a little fun along the way. So I just wanted to let you know that the following presentation is an accredited continuous education unit. As noted on the slide, AIA and IDC have certified this course. And please take your phones out and scan and register for this CEU. I will be sending this slide after the presentation as well, but if you want to do it now, you're welcome to do so.
And I just want to chime in a little bit. If we can just all mute our phones or our laptops, that would be great. So there's just no interruptions. Thank you.
Thank you. So more specifically, we are going to touch on 6 key objectives today: define personal leadership brand, identify steps to develop your personal leadership brand, make a great first connection, use communication to your advantage, host effective meetings, and maximize relationship with your diverse network. Let's first discuss what exactly is a personal leadership brand. A brand encompasses the expressions of your business network, in this case, specific to your leadership style, regardless of the title of your business card. We are all leaders. We lead projects, with teams, tasks, events, many aspects of our daily work life involve leading. 3 key elements to your personal leadership brands are your identity, your distinctiveness, and what it is about each of those delivers value. It is important to know your strengths, but delivering value is what buys in. A few great tools to help you understand your strengths are Clifton Strengths, formerly known as a Strength Finder. This tool identifies your top 5 of 34 noted strengths. With this system, the 34 strengths fall into 4 categories: strategic thinking, executing, influencing, and relationship building. Another tool is Enneagram type. This test identifies 9 different personality types, designed to help you see your personality in a more objective light. And the last one is my favorite one, actually, Myers-Briggs type indicator. This indicator encompasses 16 different personality types. You may heard people say, oh, I am a ENTJ, for example. This is the Myers-Briggs test results. And actually, it's the most fun to take. So if you decide to take those, please do a snapshot and dive into those tools. Another step in the process could involve looking into what characteristics of leadership apply to you. In other words, here is how I want to be known by those interact with. All of the 33 characteristics listed here could be considered great qualities of strong leaders. However, it would be extraordinary for one individual to have all 33. Can you select your top 4? And again, please do snapshot. You're welcome to kind of save those to your desktop. What leadership characteristics align with both who you are and the leadership qualities you want to be known for? Feel free to use leadership quality that isn't listed here. It's really tough to select only 4, but it is important to remain true to yourself and remain focused on the qualities you value most. This combined to enable you to deliver value to those you are looking to serve, your customers internally, here is at the firm, and customers you serve externally as well. The combination of strengths, your leadership characteristics, and how you bring value result in your personal leadership brand statement. The 4 leadership qualities that resonates with you can be leveraged to create your personal leadership brand statement. And as an example, you can say, hey, I'm an entrepreneur, could have personal leadership brand statement that reads like, I want to be known for being independently innovative, deliberately collaborative, and strategically result-oriented, so that I can deliver superior financial outcomes for my business. It helps to think about your brand using these 3 questions. This best represent my strengths and the leadership qualities I portray. Does this brand exhibit value to the firm I work for and or to the stakeholders I value? What risks am I taking by exhibiting this brand? Now that we focus on what personal leadership brand is and began to identify your personal leadership brand, how do each of us begin to hone or nurture our personal leadership brand? Once you're happy with your brand statement, share it. Talk to your colleagues, talk to your boss and others who know you well and see how it resonates with them first. Next, listen and observe your own behaviors. After a meeting, how did others react to your approach? Were you effective? Reflect back on the meeting as so you were watching a movie studying yourself. And finally, ask others for feedback. Focus on the leadership qualities you identified in your brand statement. Ask others to give you feedback on your management of a project or role in a meeting or in a team. So get that valuable feedback. In the next seconds, we'll focus on ways in which you can develop your personal leadership brand in typical professional situations. First up, first connections. According to Malcolm Gladwell's book, Blink, first impressions are made within 2 seconds of meeting someone. Impressions happen quickly, but it's connections that drive the development of your personal leadership brand. First impressions are the starting point of building business relationships as clients meetings, business networking opportunities, social gathering, and professional events, just like this one with IIDA. Longer-term connections are the key to our business and leadership success. To start that connection off well, first and foremost, be yourself. You know, everybody else is taken. So give yourself a confidence check in the mirror. Take a deep breath. Weather will help you to relax or walk into the room feeling more confident. Simply making eye contact, having good posture, and smiling all go all the way. One tip when making that first handshake, although we are not permitted now, is to repeat the person's name who you are meeting with. Nice to meet you, Jane. How are you, Jane? Not only this will help you to remember the name, it will also convey that you are a great listener and heard the person's name correctly. And it's okay, you know, to ask what is your name again. This leads to the importance of the leveraging professional network tools. prior to meeting an important client, colleague, or other potential connection. LinkedIn can give you insights into personal professional background. Checking LinkedIn before meeting someone may lead to a great connection. Perhaps you both went to the same college or share a passion for volunteering with animals. Public news sources can also provide helpful insights regarding recent company happenings. Something that's simple as celebration of 10 years in business could be a great kickoff to a conversation. Great to meet you, Kate. I notice your company is celebrating a major milestone. Congrats. Something like that. Be sure to keep things on a positive, professional note, however. We all know the importance of networking. A few of the jobs I've had over the years might not have been learned about had it not been for a person in my network. Actually, the job at Haworth I got through my network and through LinkedIn. But if you are anything like me, network can be very intimidating. A great place to start is here at the IIDA event or at the firms that you are working at. At Haworth, one suggestion is what we call 12 for 30. Every year, an employee meets with 12 people for 30 minutes, each to learn about what it is they do and also a little bit about them personally. It is great to meet with people who have different backgrounds and are different stages in their career. And how about externally? We used to have a lot of events in person, and hopefully by the end of this year, we will resume to have more again. But IDA, CoreNet, Crew, those are professional networking groups that would be a great place to start. So continue to network on your own. Avoid the temptation to sit with your colleagues, if it is at the same table. Try to network in events that involve meal to sit with somebody else. Ask for a business card. Relax and be yourself. So just so you know, take a note that everybody wants to be connected and grow their network. Check local events, even if it's virtual, still join. I've had so many with CoreNet, and after the event, we would have sessions where we meet each other and collaborate and introduce. Those are really great connections and professional connections as well. When living your personal leadership brand and working with your team and your customers, there are key tips for leveraging communication tools to help you prepare for, connect with, and follow up with people you work with. The more you grow your network, the more you will be communicating with leaders you admire and leaders you may not. Pay close attention to each, particularly noting how they communicate. It is important to keep your communications brief. Prior to hitting send, ensure that you have a clear understanding of why this message is so important to the people you're receiving it and to you. Then think about what it is you need to say to accomplish or why. Reread the communication to double check that you've accomplished your goals. Consider using bullet points to shorten, streamline details, questions you need answering, and or other items that could be listed. Even if you don't know the answer yet and are working toward a resolution to something, try to reply to an email within 24 hours of receiving it. If it's a form, if it's from client, even try to consider replying the same day. Should you have bad news to share, perhaps budget challenges or something else, think about doing it in person or over the phone. Don't leave the voicemail or email because it doesn't set the same tone. And finally, if emotions are running high, think about your communication for at least an hour before sending, particularly via email. Your tone can oftentimes be misinterpreted. It is tough to know what it is like walking in someone else's shoes, and maintaining your professionalism will serve you a long way. In a workplace, for your use of social media can be a huge asset to building your personal leadership brand. LinkedIn is the to-go-to for the firm recruiters, potential customers, co-workers, and anyone you may be coming into the contact with at work. Immediately under your professional headshot and current workplace on your LinkedIn profile, be sure to complete a professional summary. This is a perfect location to highlight key words from your professional leadership brand. Other professionals are interested in not only what you did and where you worked, but also insight in your work style and attributes of focus you have in your work. And don't be afraid to message your contacts, asking them for recommendations. Also give recommendations too, to co-workers and colleagues, or even others who you work with while volunteering. When growing your network, be sure to connect with people you've met, are scheduled to meet, or have a personal connection referral to, and add personalized note when sending the connection request. Connecting with people you don't know oftentimes come across if you're fishing for something. But in this environment, honestly speaking, I've connected with so many amazing people. So please try to reach out if you can. Instagram or Pinterest. How many of you use either of this to showcase your professional work? If you do, consider having both a personal and a professional ID. A good general rule for social media is to keep it simple for professional use. The fewer sites you have to maintain, the more attention you can give to your profile and posts to the site, giving you a stronger focused brand. Another key topic, opportunity, to leave your personal leadership brand in the meeting is the meetings. Can you think of a time when you participated in a meeting that was tremendous waste of time? Compare that with the one that was incredibly effective, and tools that you use during meetings got you to the project. Or personally, I prefer the second one, obviously. Getting back to basics is a meeting host is always a safe bet, especially when hosting a client. First of all, have an agenda, date, time, location, attendees if possible, discussion topics, next steps, next date, time, and location of the meeting you needed in the future. Introduction. Introduce yourself first, then go around the room and name company, role for this meeting. Take meeting notes, accuracy, parking lot, action steps, deadlines. Those are really important points. It can be tough to host a meeting and try to take notes at the same time. If you are hosting, ask a colleague to help you ahead of time and offer to do the same in favor in return at the meeting when you are not hosting. For a 1 hour meeting, try to keep meeting notes to no more than 1 page. Use bullet points and consider using the parking lot concept. When the conversation starts to head in a different direction, speak up and suggest the topic goes on the meeting notes as a parking lot item to be discussed at a later date. This will help you to accomplish your goals and demonstrate your focus on accomplishing the meeting objectives. Be sure to include action steps and deadlines in the notes as well. Your personal leadership brand is sure to come across if you focus on being present in the meeting versus getting distracted by emails or the phone communications, and being effective with your attendees' time by sticking to the agenda. Let's take a look at a few typical situations to determine best practices. You're running late for your first meeting with the client. Is there a 5 minutes grace period? Should you call and apologize? The second that you realize you may be late, I would say call and apologize, but up to you. The most important thing here is to call as soon as you can, actually, and give a client realistic time for your arrival. If applicable, note that you will be able to remain within the original allotted meeting timing. When scheduling a meeting, always make sure you have saved your client's information on your phone. Number 2, you are talking with a group of 4 people, 2 clients, 2, your colleague and your boss. Who do you make an eye contact with? So I would say show respect to all and make eye contact with each person at the meeting. And number 3, this one is a tricky one. You're at the client's dinner at a posh restaurant when one of your clients arrives 2 hours late and the rest of you are finishing your meal. What do? Say, hello, Sam, it's great to see you, and stay seated, rise, greet them, and signal the waiter so your client can be served, or stay seated and keep talking to your dinner companions, and so you don't disrupt the flow. It is tough to know what others have experienced. Being a leader involves remaining focused, positive, and showing that everyone is valued. So I would say B would be the best answer. Finally, let's chat about a very important opportunity we all have to continue to learn as we grow in our career and build our network. Growing a diverse network is one of the most impactful ways you can grow as a leader. In your industry, we have the privilege of serving a wide variety of clients. The more opportunities we have to learn from people who are different from us, the greater our abilities to support their environment. If you're traveling to another country or have an opportunity to work closely with someone from another country, Team Forster's Guide is really good. And you can download an app and check, and it's worth the investment actually. It is estimated by 2020, 5 generations will be represented in the workforce for the first time in history. Embracing the diversity and knowledge that comes with each generation oftentimes leads to stronger results. A key is first talking with people about the strengths each brings to the team. And one final note regarding leadership from the basketball great Michael Jordan. earn your leadership every day. Your personal leadership brand is something you cultivate. And like any other brand, it is the sum of the options and thoughts of those you engage with professionally. Once you decide on your professional leadership brand, it is up to you to keep your brand valued, top of mind, and at the forefront of your work. Your brand may evolve slightly as your career evolves. Taking the time regularly to focus on your values and priorities and goals can help you remain focused and authentic throughout your career. And I hope we've accomplished our objectives today. Does anyone have any questions? You can also check the references here and take a snapshot as well and see if you like any of this to order or read later on. Thank you. So let me know if you have any questions, and I hope you had a lot to learn today, and I hope to see you in person someday for lunch or dinner.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Inna. Does anyone have any questions or, I think, or experiences that they've experienced of their own brand and leadership? I mean, I think we can all probably open the conversation if you want to.
I have a question. This is Sergio.
Hi, Sergio.
Hi. Inna, what would you recommend, or what advice would you have for people to keep their brand sort of fresh and sort of new and updated, and kind of to stay relevant?
Up to date. Well, there is a lot of topics like trends, for example. Haworth has a lot of development done throughout the pandemic, and actually the whole every month and every day we are developing something new. So I would definitely recommend check trends and see where your personal brand is going, and try to, again, be diverse and talk to people outside of your circles. I know it's hard right now and intimidating to reach out to on LinkedIn to someone you don't know, but it really helps to kind of bring your brand up, and it's your personal career too. So think about those things too. Did I answer that?
And then we do have 2 comments. One is, can you pull up the resource page again? It clicked off. So if you can just pull that back for everyone to see. And then we do have another question from Pamela. Can a personal brand be established with makeup and fashion brands that I'm innovating?
Oh, absolutely. I've actually came across a lot of fashion brands, and I've done a lot of fashion events as well. And actually living in Singapore and working with the students from Fashion Institute, it was kind of mind-opening experience, because they are out of school and they're already developing their website, their branding, their direction. So it's actually already in other countries, I hope here as well, giving you tools to develop those brands already. So, and there is a lot of really great webinars and seminars where you can actually go and learn some tools, some new tools and directions, and how to build your own personal brand.
Perfect. And then we do have another question. What would be your recommendation on spreading one's brand during a lockdown, where are expected to stay, distance, virtual, other than that, just social media?
Well, definitely social media is a big hit. And I would say grow your network. I mean, reach out to people. Yes, we are so visual and we are so quick to discover something with our phones. We are like at the fingertips, right? But then it is very visual only. And of course, you have followers and you have non-followers. So reach out to people in person and try to ask them questions and try to develop those relationships still. And of course, right now it's only social media or LinkedIn is the number one, I would say. And sometimes you can meet outdoors. We are actually in Purple Tier, so now the restaurants are back to open. So try to meet outdoors and explore some other directions and ideas and create those really valuable relationships.
Yeah, and just to add to that a little bit, you know, joining groups such as IIDA or your local city center or design sort of leadership groups that are around you. I think for me, that was my personal way to, you know, build my brand and build my network, was just joining a lot of, you know, of the things that I like doing in general and just meeting people through that. So I think that's sort of a great way to stay connected, because I think it's so easy to not stay connected during this lockdown, that, you know, it's important to still join those meetings and see those people, even if it is virtual.
That's right. And IIDA is such a great supporting group as well. You know, we're still developing a lot of events, even through pandemic, and hopefully we'll meet in person by the end of this year, right?
Yeah. And then we do have one more question. Can diversity be enforced more in every entity to make sure inclusivity of everyone is valued?
Well, I feel like it's up to you. So it's really up to you how you want to build in your own brand. It's up to you to reach out to those people who you feel need that topic and need to be included and need to be diverse and such. So everyone, every single person have a responsibility for their own leadership brand. So if you reach out, then you'll get a reply back, whether it's yes or no, but at least you tried. So it's really up to us, like each and individual person.
Yeah, that's a great question. Just because, you know, I think we tend to stay within our bubble. Like, you know, one of the things you presented saying, you know, sitting with your coworkers, the same coworkers every time. And I thought that was so interesting because I think we do that without thinking about it. And it's like, no, you know, sit with someone that you don't usually sit with. That isn't your norm. That's how you sort of diversify, I think, your network and your brand.
And I feel like it's everybody's, it's, you know, when you introduce yourself to new people, it's kind of like back to high school, right? When you're very intimidated, are they gonna like me or not? But if you try, then you'll find out. And if you don't, you never know. So it's really up to you.
Yeah. Anyone else? I mean, feel free to chime in or give us, you know, any examples or experiences of how you've built your own personal brand, or any other questions you might have.
I had a quick one, really quick. So as compared to everybody else on this call, I don't know if anybody else out there is a student, but I'm a graduating senior this year. And currently I'm based in Northern California, so I'm part of IIDA Northern California. And that's been really great, being able to network with some of those people and be a part of the mentorship program to meet professionals.
Yeah.
But one thing that I've kind of struggled with that maybe you guys would be able to comment on is, you know, as I'm looking at jobs, I'm looking at places other than, you know, San Francisco Bay Area or the Sacramento area. And I'm looking more, you know, maybe out of state or something like that, like Seattle area or Portland. And obviously, like, it's a lot easier to network with people that are kind of more in your area, you know, connected through IIDA or through university. So what would be some suggestions you'd have for, like, maybe the best strategy to get in contact with people that, you know, you can't necessarily go and meet in person anyway, regardless of COVID circumstances? Would the best strategy be just like basically cold call them over LinkedIn and just say, hey, like, interested in the work you do, I'd like to learn more?
That would be a perfect step, number one. It's definitely hard right now and more harder than it used to be. But honestly speaking, you will be surprised how many people will actually answer you. And IIDA is a big organization. They are not just in the Bay Area. They have pretty much network everywhere. I actually signed up with IIDA living in Los Angeles in 2001. But, you know, look for those answers within your organization and then see how broad those are. And again, if you want to personally reach somebody, I think LinkedIn is the perfect platform to start with.
I have a suggestion. Since you already, this is Paula, since you already have some connections in Northern California, I would say leverage those connections and ask for referrals, because you would probably be amazed at how small the industry really is. A lot of us know people in a lot of different areas, or at least have some kind of connection where we could say, hey, this is a graduating student. He's thinking about moving to Seattle. Could you spend a few minutes talking to him? So definitely, and I think that's kind of gives you that segue, or kind of breaks the ice when you've already been given, you know, a referral, and that person doesn't even have to, you know, send an email. You could just ask them if it's okay if I say, hey, would it be okay if I say you referred me, you know, and then reach out that way.
Yeah, and I think sort of by doing these kind of events, like Paula was saying, there's always someone that knows someone that sort of knows someone. So even if we might not get you to the specific person, we can probably point you in the right direction of someone.
Sure.
So I think, you know, feel free to like reach out to us personally, and, you know, we're all a pretty friendly group. So I'm sure we'll like, you know, reach out to you and answer. And, but I think the first step is just joining your network that's around you, and then they can help you and push it forward.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else? No, any other questions or anything? This was very, very insightful. And I think, you know, especially right now and during these times, we've all sort of struggled with our own brand. And, you know, a lot of us were switching from one role to another. And, you know, those connections, one of the things for me personally was realizing that you take your brand with you, right? So this brand that you're building as your own, as a person, you take that with you wherever you go. So I think that's like a really important thing to note, that it's not because you leave a firm or you graduate school that everything is lost. It's, you know, no, you take that with you. And I think that was just so important for everyone to know, that to invest in your own personal brand, because at the end of the day, that's sort of what you're left with.
Right.
Yeah, so if there's no other questions, you know, thank you guys for joining us today. This was our first event. Stay tuned for more. Follow us on Instagram. We are doing a lot of Instagram takeovers, so you'll see more content of more events coming up. We're really trying to push Instagram forward so that, you know, you guys can really reach out and feel connected. So yeah, if there's no other questions, thank you, and, you know, have a great day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Join us.
Thanks,
for
Inna.
the-
Thanks, Patricia. You guys rock.
Bye, guys.